see. So I've been teaching a couple years. So an overview for the rest of the tutorial. This is the introduction part. We're going to talk about tools that are needed no matter what kind of day you're having. And then we're going to talk about tools needed for specific kind of days. I'm going to group, well, we'll talk about this more, but sort of grouping the days based on, are they meeting free or meeting packed? There's also some other kind of days we're going to talk about, the vacation day, the half day, the day that we have an emergency, and then summary. So there's 3 general kinds of days and 3 sort of special cases. Let's talk about the general kind of days. So meeting free through meeting packed, I already said that. And just not to put too fine a point on it, no meeting day looks like this. How many people use some kind of calendar system? Like, yeah. Boy, that's different than 10 years ago. Corporate calendar systems were almost non-existent, but now everyone seems to have something. You got 4. Awesome. So you have like 4 times more time than anyone else. Your dog has a calendar. Oh, okay. Yeah. And
then Google and there's Zimbra.
Okay, so you're battling Google Calendar and Zimbra Calendar and a corporate calendar and your dog's calendar. Okay. They should all sing. So I'm not going to talk about specific software tools because I believe that sysadmins don't need a manual. But yeah, I'll try to drop in some specific tips. Anyway, a no meeting day, when we realize, my suggestion is that you begin your day, when you get to the office, say 9 a.m., you plan your day. We're going to invest 3 minutes to plan your day. And when you look at your calendar and say, oh, this seems to be a no meeting day, the tools we're going to enlist are about focusing on our projects and doing interrupts as needed. Then there's the mixed kind of day. And in that situation, we're going to focus on trying to squeeze the important tasks between our meetings. And then days that are packed with meetings. And in that situation, we're going to try to manage those meetings effectively as possible and do some multitasking. Now, for you, it might not be a very meeting-centric office. It might be some other kind of thing like customer interaction or do people have, what in addition to meetings are sort of like these immovable objects for you? Demos? Sure. That's right. So that's more generically, I could say events. But yeah, so a meeting or a demo or any kind of event. Anyone else? Yes. What? Change windows. Right. A change window is sort of like a meeting with a router. Right? Absolutely. Other? Okay, cool. So we talked about identifying the day. Now let's talk about picking the appropriate tool. On a no meeting day, no meeting days are going to be the most productive when we have a good to-do list to manage what we're doing. We're going to talk a lot about to-do list management. Maintaining focus is important. I mean, how many people are like, wow, like a no meeting day happens like once a month. So when that actually happens, boy, I got to be focused. I got to get, some projects done. It's my only project time. On some meetings day, you still need a to-do list. If you notice, you need a to-do list no matter what kind of day it is. And you have a limited amount of time. So we're going to enlist the tools that are related to making the most out of your limited amount of time. A day that is just packed with meetings, again, to-do list is important, mostly because you're going to be figuring out what you're not going to get done today, and efficient meetings. So we'll have a big section on making meetings more efficient. I mentioned there's 3 kinds of special days. The out of the office day or vacation day, half days, and, oh wait, I think I have slides about this. Yeah. So out of office days, you also need a to-do list, but we're going to talk about how to manage coverage for a day that you're not going to be around. On half days, it's also making the most out of your limited time, but there's some special things that we can list there. And days where you have an emergency outage. So at 9 in the morning, you did your plan your day, and you thought it's going to be, let's say, a no meeting day. Wouldn't that be awesome? And around 2 o'clock, a server dies, and it becomes an outage day. So we're going to talk about techniques related to that. Communicating about the outage, setting up some kind of shield so that the interrupts are shielded so that you can work on the problem, and follow-up. What do you do after the outage? And, you know, the to-do list is going to be useful there also. In fact, having a good, well-maintained, written to-do list is going to be important for every single kind of day. So we're going to talk about that first thing, and probably cover that and then go to break. Okay, so what tools are, any questions? I always forget to pause for questions, so please just raise your hand. Or how are we doing so far? Okay. Oh, yes?
Why don't you have efficient meetings on light meetings? Should every meeting be semi-efficient?
Good question. Shouldn't you be thinking about efficient meetings even on light meeting days? Absolutely. I just needed to pick which slide to put it on. Okay, so what kind of tools are needed for all days? Having a calendar. Oh yeah, we can't plan our day if we don't have a calendar to know what kind of day it is. This audience seems to be pretty good about that. The to-do list. To-do list is, you can think about it as things to do. I find it's most useful to write down the next step of a project as opposed to the project. Really, to-do lists are about assuring perfect follow-through, eliminating that, oops, I forgot, sorry boss, kind of situation. And also prioritization. As we get used to our to-do list, we can be a little more sophisticated and start prioritizing our work. I want to explain why the title of this workshop is A New Approach. I've been teaching time management for a while. This is me, the first time I ever taught time management at OSCON in 2004. And then I started teaching it at LISA, and that led to the book deal. And then I taught at more conferences and Ohio Linux Fest. And during this, I got hired at Google. This is Google's New York office in Lego form. And at Google, I got the opportunity to do a lot of one-on-one coaching on time management issues. And I discovered two things. First of all, on the good side, the specific techniques that I've been talking about, which basically they're the techniques that work for me, did work for other people, and that was good. But on the downside, I realized that I wasn't providing a map of how all the tools fit together. So it was a bit of a puzzle to people. So I developed a new approach that tries to put all the time management tools in a better context. And the way I do that is we're going to identify the type of day that we think today is going to be. We're going to then pick the appropriate tools for that kind of day. And then if the day changes, like suddenly, you realize, oh, I thought it was going to be type A, but it's going to be definitely a type D, then we're going to change what tools we use midstream. So we're going to be flexible. Yes? Sure. Oh, on call. Yeah, okay, on call. So how the day will end, how we will be successful in our day, is determined by how we approach it at the beginning. That's the new approach. Okay.